Hello, my friends. Welcome. I'm Cheryl, and this is Your Journey Yoga. Thanks for joining me today. And today we are just going to be doing a wonderful full body yoga practice that hopefully will just get every joint, every part of your body looser and just feeling really good, connecting with your breath, and just having you get into kind of the best place, being the best version of you that we can. It always does that for me when I step onto my mat, and so I hope it does the same for you. We'll see on the other side. So if you have water handy, please, just anytime you need a drink, grab one. If you have a strap, pillows, blankets, whatever you need to help you along your yoga journey, use those whenever you need them. Take a break whenever you need one, and just remember that this is your time to do what's good for you and to make yourself feel as best you can. All right, let's get going, guys. A seated position, cross-legged, if that feels okay to you. Might not feel super good at this point, but if it's doable, let's come there. If it's like, no, not happening today, legs can be out nice and wide into a V or extended out in front of you. You can be up on your knees. You can be in butterfly. Just find some place that feels good to you. And let's sit up nice and tall, giving those shoulders a nice big roll up and back. So lots of times we hold tension in the neck and the shoulders. Let's do that shoulder roll one more time. Make it as big as you can. Just let it go. Those shoulder shrugs, such a great way to let go of tension. Now sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, and just feel those shoulders just gently melt down and away. Relax your jaw. Find your breath. Let's turn the palms to face the sky, draping the wrists over the knees. Gently bring your index finger to touch your thumb. And just slow your breath. Quiet, deep breaths. Now we're going to deepen that breath and make it not quite so quiet. A gentle whooshing sound, kind of almost like the ocean as you exhale, getting all the way down into the very bottom of your lungs. Sound calming and quieting. Nervous system responds, heart responds, brain responds. And your body begins to let go of tension and tightness just through your breath. Now we're going to work to keep connected to that breath, this deep diaphragmatic breathing throughout our practice. So just checking in to make sure that you are still getting those big deep breaths as we move through our practice. Let's keep those eyes closed and just slowly walk your hands forward, releasing the weight of the upper body down. Elbows are softly bent, head is heavy, and we're just going to let ourselves melt. A little tuck of your chin towards your chest. And as you inhale, let's rotate the torso just a little bit, lifting that left side of the rib cage. Not a big lift, just a rotation, and I want you to feel that deeper stretch through the spine. And then gently release it down. Now, if there is discomfort here, come up, support with your hands, and inhale, re-rotate now to the right, lifting that right side of the ribcage just a little bit. And gently releasing down. We're going to do that one more time each side. As you inhale, get that rotation. As you exhale, release. So just being mindful, right? So if there is discomfort, guys, beyond the sign of a good stretch, you don't have to go there, okay? It's about learning what's right for our bodies and not asking it to do things that it's not ready to do or doesn't feel good. We come back and just release the weight of the upper body down. Inhale, circle your hands back by your hips, big circle of the arms overhead as you hinge up tall. Exhale and release that right hand to the floor, left arm up and over. We're keeping that left hip glued to the mat. Now we can stay on the palm of the hand or come down onto your forearm. Just make sure that that left hip hasn't lifted off the mat. Now turn your gaze towards the floor and roll that left shoulder back just a little bit more. Find your breath. As you exhale, release your tummy and chest to your thigh. Reach out through those left fingertips. Find your breath. Inhale, lift just slightly and walk your hands back through the center. Fingertips reach out as far as you can reach and relax the weight of your head. Inhale, circle your hands back by your hips. Big circle of the arms overhead as you pinch up tall. Exhale and release that left hand to the mat. Right arm up and over. We keep that right hip pressing towards the floor. Long, beautiful stretch all the way down that right side. Now again, you can stay up on that left palm or come down onto your forearm. We just want to make sure that both sit bones are pressing into the mat. And a little roll of that right shoulder back as we turn our gaze towards the floor with a little tuck of the chin towards the chest or your collarbone. Are we still getting those big deep breaths? I hope so, because they are so helpful. As you exhale, release the tummy and chest to your thigh. Reach out through those right fingertips. Relax the weight of your head. Inhale, lift just slightly. Walk your hands back through the center. Fingertips reach out as far as you can reach. Bringing the hands around behind your back, interlace your fingers. Now if you can't quite find those fingers to interlace them and you happen to have a strap or a towel or a belt, grab a hold. And relax the weight of your head. Let your body just fold forward. Now lengthen through the crown of the head, core strong. Let's hinge it all the way back up. And as you exhale, lift your arms behind you. Roll those shoulders back as high as you can get those hands. A little tuck of your chin towards your chest. Can you lift those arms any higher? Now slowly lift your gaze back to front. And slowly release your hands back down. Big circle of those arms overhead. Exhale, let's flow forward and come up onto all fours. Hands shoulder width apart. Knees hip width. Core nice and strong. Take a big breath into cow pose. Tummy towards the floor. Gaze and sit bones to the sky. Exhale, hollow the tummy and chest. Lift your spine towards the ceiling. Press the floor away with your hands and your knees. And inhale it back to cow, keeping the core strong, supporting your back. And exhale it to cat. Pressing that floor away, tucking your chin. One more time, inhale it to cow. And exhale it to cat. Coming back to our neutral spine, back to tabletop. Core is strong and sit it back to child's pose. Extend the arms out nice and long. Hips back towards your heels, forehead towards the mat. Child's pose, great place. Wonderful place to check in with your breath. If ever you need to take a break, this is a wonderful place to come back to, or just feel free to grab a drink. Breathe. Now we place those hands shoulder width apart, spreading your fingers nice and wide. We bring the forearms to the mat. If you like, hands can remain shoulder width apart or bring your palms to touch. Spreading your fingers wide, we lift the forehead, tuck the toes, press and lift yourself up to Dolphin. As we come into Dolphin, very similar to our downward facing dog, only we're resting on our forearms. Still getting that really nice stretch on the backs of the legs. Allowing the heels to just gently sink. This is a great alternative to down dog if for whatever reason down dog isn't great for you. We bend the right knee, left heel presses towards the floor. And switch sides, left knee bends, right heel presses towards the floor. Wonderful stretch for the calves. Let's do that one more time, each side, right knee bends, left heel presses towards the mat. And switch once again, left knee bends, right heel down. And both heels press towards the mat. Core is strong. We shift our weight to our left foot. Right toes reach straight back. So different sensation. And now notice if that left heel
can press a little closer to the mat. Add a flex of that right foot. Now we're going to keep those hips as square as we can and lift that right leg as high as we can. And slowly release it down. Allow both heels to sink. We keep our hips side by side. We shift our weight to our right foot, left toes straight back. Now do you notice that right heel sinking a little deeper? Maybe not, maybe you do. Just notice how your body responds. Now add a flex of that left foot. Keep your hips side by side and lift that left leg just as high as you can without opening your hips. Intensifying that stretch down the back of that right leg. And slowly release it down. Let's walk those feet back. Nice big step. And then slowly begin to level out into Dolphin plank. Lifting out of those shoulders. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Now this is a lot of work for those shoulders, so if you need to bring the knees down, do so. Breathe. If you need a drink, grab one. Now keeping those hips side by side, bend that right knee. Now it doesn't have to touch the mat, because if that makes those hips shift, we don't want to do that. So maybe it's just hovering. And extend that right leg. Left knee bends. Hips remain side by side, so this is core strength. And we're lifting out of those shoulders. And extend. Now just gently alternate walking. So we're not going to release that knee all the way to the mat, even if we did before. We're just walking those knees, keeping those hips level. So if you're feeling those hips shift at all, don't go quite so big with the movement, because we want to stay steady all through that upper body, all through the hips. And extend. Walk those feet back in to Dolphin and allow your heels to sink. Head to be heavy. As you exhale, release the knees to the mat, palms to the mat, and sit it back to child's pose. Good deep breaths. Extending those arms out nice and long, hands shoulder width apart, spread your fingers wide. Let's lift the forehead, tuck the toes, press and lift your hips to the sky. Up to our first downward facing dog. Head is heavy. Face is soft, heels just pressing towards the mat. Let's inhale it to high plank or high push-up position, shoulders right over those fingertips. And then as you exhale, lift your hips back to down dog. And we're going to transition between these two poses, just at your own pace, warming up through the hips and the shoulders, starting to get a little heat building. Work in the core. We're going to do that 2 more times, inhaling it to plank. Exhaling it to down dog, allowing those heels to sink. 1 more time, inhaling it to high plank. And exhaling it to down dog. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that right foot through. Back knee down if you like, otherwise knee is off. Arms come overhead to a crescent lunge. Shoulders are soft. Find your breath. Lengthen and reach, and as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. Arms extend out in a nice long diagonal line. Belly is drawn in. Let's open those arms out to a T. Feel the shoulders as they gently fall away from your ears. Rotate your palms to the sky. Feel how that changes the dynamics of this pose. Breathe. Now inhale, rise, lift the arms overhead, lift the chest. Pull the hands to heart center, turn to the right, place that left elbow to the right knee. Press against your knee and work to bring your hands towards heart center. Right elbow pointing towards the sky. If you like, open the arms. Back of that left arm pressing against the outside of your knee. Lengthen and reach out through those fingertips. Now slowly lower that right arm straight down to about shoulder height. Palm facing in the same direction we are. Now spread your fingers and reach. Challenging balance. Flexibility of the spine. Inhale, lift that right arm to the sky. Pull the hands back to heart center. And turn to face front. Extend the arms overhead. Circle the arms to the back, big circle. Release your hands on either side of your foot. Lift your hips, sweep it back. Extend right leg to the sky. And gently release it down. Holding your down dog, or inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down, toes or knees. Press it through, up dog, hold your up dog. Or on the tops of the feet, shoulders are rolled back, opening that chest, activating the upper and middle back. Tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. And we inhale it to high plank. Exhale it to down dog. 2 more times. Mobility through the shoulders, strength through the shoulders. Inhale it to plank. Exhale it to down dog. Let's do 1 more. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling it to down dog. Shifting your weight to your right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left foot through. Back knee to the mat if you like. Arms come overhead to our crescent lunge. Shoulders soft, away from the ears, pressing through that back heel. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen and reach, and as you exhale, begin to hand you forward. Long diagonal line, all the way down the back of the body. Strong through that belly, supporting that back. Always want to keep that back safe. Now open those arms out to a T, palms face towards the floor. Shoulders relax away from the ears. We lengthen through those fingertips. Intensity and purpose. Now slowly rotate your palms towards the sky. Just feel how that activates different muscles, how it changes the dynamics of this pose. Breathe. Now inhale, rise, lift the arms, lift the chest. Pull the hands to heart center, turn to the left. Right elbow to the left knee. Press against your knee and work to bring your hands towards heart center. Left elbow pointing towards the sky. Gazing out over that left elbow. We open the arms, back of that right arm pressing against the outside of the knee. Lengthen and reach through those left fingertips. And spread your fingers wide. Now slowly, slowly, lower that left arm to shoulder height. Keep reaching, keep lengthening. And once again, lift that left arm back to the sky. Pulling the hands to heart center and turning back to face front. Extend the arms to the sky, big circle of those arms to the back. Release your hands on either side of your foot, lift your hips, sweep it back. And extend left leg to the sky. And gently release it down. Holding your down dog, feel free to grab a drink of water or inhale it to high plank. Our first strength challenge, toes or knees, 1 push up. Now take it low and hold, wherever your low is. Shoulders no lower than your elbows. So maybe you're up a little bit higher. That is absolutely fine. Just shoulders no lower than the elbows. And rise. 1 more push up. Lift your hips to down dog. We bend the right knee, left heel presses towards the floor. And switch sides, left knee bends, right heel down. Let's inhale up to the balls of the feet. Exhale, press the chest and shoulders toward your thighs, reach your sit bones high. And as you exhale, let your heels sink. We take a gaze between the hands, walk, step, or hop to forward fold. Relaxing the weight of the upper body down. Head heavy, face soft. Now I want you to bend your knees as much as you need to get the hands to the floor. And we're just going to alternate bending knees. Now maybe your leg doesn't go all the way straight. It's absolutely fine. So if there's just more of a bend in one leg than the other, that's what we're looking for. So there's a little shift that goes on through the hips. An intensity through the backs of the legs. A release through that lower back. Now let's extend both legs. Let your arms just be heavy. Now let's take a hold of the forearms or the elbows. And gently sway side to side. Coming back to center, relax your arms, and just slowly, slowly roll it up. You're a ragdoll that somebody's picking up by the waist. Your head is heavy, the very last to rise. Big shoulder roll at the top. Shoulders slide down and away. Do that shoulder roll once more. Big shoulder roll up and back. Shoulders slide down and away. Turn your palms to the front. Tummies are tight. Glutes are tight. This is mountain. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, left hand down, right arm high, lean in and reach. Take your gaze to the sky. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, other side, lean in and reach. Far as you can reach in both directions. Inhale, both arms come up. Circle the arms forward. Back of the hands pull towards the back of the room as you open the chest, gaze to the sky. Pull the back of those hands. Opening the chest, little back bend. Rotate palms to the sky. Big circle of those arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Releasing that left knee to the mat if you like, otherwise legs are going to stay long. We're going to rotate and extend. Right arm to the sky. Now if that knee is down, let that support some of the weight. If the legs are long, you can stagger your feet, you can stack them. We're going to lift those hips. And we're going to reach to the sky. You can come down onto your forearm too if the wrist is not happy. We're going to lift that top leg if it feels right to you. Bend the knee and place the sole of the foot along the inside of that left leg. Now rotate that right palm towards the front of the room, reach it up and over. Breathe, lengthening, reaching all the way through that right side. Now keep reaching. Lift that right leg and slowly release it down. As you release it, can you feel that deeper stretch all the way down that right side? Inhale, lift that right arm to the sky and slowly release it down. Coming back to plank, directly into the other side. Right knee comes down if you like, otherwise legs stay long. We rotate and extend left arm to the sky. Breathe, lifting out of that left shoulder. Find that breath. Feels right to you? Lift that left leg, bend the left knee, place the sole of the foot along the inside of that right leg. Keeping those hips high, we rotate the left palm to the front. Reach it up and over. Find that breath. Shaky's good, guys. Shaky just means you're working hard. Keep that reach. Keep reaching through those left fingertips. Extend your left leg and release it down. As you release that leg down, can you feel that length all the way through the left side of your body? What a great stretch. Inhale, lift that left arm and slowly release it down. Coming back to plank. Lift your hips to down dog. Shifting your weight to your left hand. Right hand reaching across to the outside of that left leg, anywhere along the leg you like. And let's turn our gaze out underneath that left arm. Find your breath. Checking in. Gently release your gaze, release that right hand. Shift your weight to your right hand, left hand reaching across to the outside of the right leg, anywhere along the leg you like. And slowly turn your gaze out underneath that right arm. Find your breath. Quiet it down. Once again, release your gaze. Release that left hand to down dog. Holding your down dog, great opportunity for grab a drink of water or come in a child's pose or inhale it to high plank. Holding your plank. Second strength challenge if you like. Shift your weight to your left foot. Right leg lifts. Flex your foot. Now we can stay right here. Or shift your weight to your right hand. Left arm extends. And breathe. Lifting out of that right shoulder. Lengthening through those left fingertips. And release. Center your weight. Hold your plank. Or shift your weight to your right foot. Left leg lifts. Flex your foot. Press through that heel. Keeping those hips square, shifting your weight to your left hand if you like. Right arm extends. Your entire body working. We lengthen and we reach. We press through that back heel. How's your breath? And release. Lift your hips. And we meet back in down dog whenever you're ready. Find your breath. We inhale up to the balls of the feet, and as you exhale, spin your toes towards one another, heels out, and then let your heels sink. And just feel that nice little stretch through the outsides of the ankles, outsides of the calves, all through the backs of the legs. Just a little different with those feet in a little bit of a pigeon-toed stance. We inhale back up to the balls of the feet, close those heels towards one another, and then let them sink. Taking the gaze between your hands, walk, step, or hop to forward fold. Inhaling up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And pull the hands to heart center. Find a focal point out in front of you. Core is strong. We shift our weight to our right foot. Left knee is going to lift to 90 degrees and flex your foot. Breathe. Extending the arms out to a T if you like. You can keep the hands at heart center, whatever works for you. Now slowly begin to extend that left leg. Now we're working to extend that leg as much as we can and get it as high as we can. So if your leg is lower, perfect. If it's higher, great. So whatever is working for you, challenge yourself. Now bend the knee, and we're going to press that left foot straight back. Hinging forward as much as feels right to you, but keep those hips side by side. We come into our warrior three. Now those arms can remain extended out to a T. They can be back in flight, or for more intensity, reach out. Find that breath. With those arms extended, that's more load for the lower back. So be kind to yourself. Bending that supporting leg, giant step back. We come into our warrior one. Now take a second, because transitioning to our warrior one from the balancing pose can be kind of tricky. We square our hips. We press through that back heel. Find your breath. Bend that left elbow. Hand comes behind your head. Right hand to the elbow. And gently press. Now stay tuned with those hips, because those hips are going to want to shift when you bring your focus to the arms. Now if you have a strap or a towel and really tight shoulders, grab it. Otherwise, just stay right here. If the shoulders feel ready, circle that right arm around behind you. Can you find your fingertips? Lock them if you can find them. Keep that back heel pressing into the mat, lengthen through the crown of the head, and slowly begin to hinge forward. Long diagonal line down the back of the body. Gazing forward out in front of those right toes. And just notice all of the things that are going on with the body. We lengthen through the crown of the head and slowly rise. Releasing the hands, extend left arm. And then the right. To warrior one. Exhale, flow forward, hands on either side of your foot. Lift your hips, sweep it back. Extend right leg to the sky. Go ahead and open up your hips. Lift that right leg as high as you can. Add a flex to that right foot, a bend to that right knee, and draw your heel towards your bottom. Breathe. Extending right leg to the sky, and as you exhale, sweep that right knee through, foot to the inside, to pigeon pose. Now, if you're taking special care of those knees, you're going to come over onto that right hip and draw that back leg in. So you've created almost like a letter Z, just taking the pressure off of the knee. Otherwise, that back leg is long, and we are not lifting over onto that right hip unless we are caring for the knee. Find your breath, and let's slowly, slowly walk the hands out. Either fully extending those arms or stacking your hands and allowing the forehead to come to rest. We're going to take a big breath in and squeeze every muscle in that lower body. And then exhale, let it go. Sleeping pigeon. Such a nice place. Great stretch for the piriformis, the glutes, the hip. But just be mindful. If it doesn't feel great, guys, make the adjustments. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. One hand on either side of the knee. Tuck your back toes. Lift your hips. Sweep it back. Extend right leg to the sky. Point, flex your foot. Roll your ankle. Give your leg a little shake. And as you exhale, we're going to sweep that right foot back through. Back heel to the floor. Windmill your arms up to warrior two. Hips, chest, and shoulders open to the side. Shoulders soft and away from the ears. Core is strong. Pelvis is slightly tucked under. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little bit. And then exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Open hips, chest, and shoulders to the side. Let's reach it out over those right toes as far as you can reach without allowing that left hip to turn towards the floor. Release that right arm down. Left arm high. Gaze can be towards the sky, straight ahead, or down towards your right big toe. I want you to feel the strength in the belly so that if you were to take away that right hand, you'd still stay where you are. So we're not leaning on that right hand. We're extending and reaching. Find your breath. Now turn that left palm towards the front of the room, reach it up and over. Turn your gaze towards the floor with a little tuck of your chin towards that right collarbone. Can you reach any further with those left fingertips? This is an amazing stretch through the waist. We lift that left arm to the sky and as slow as you can, rise. Back arm onto the back leg, front palm to the sky, sweep it up and back. Reverse triangle. Left hand sliding down that back leg, right fingertips reaching to the wall behind you. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend that right knee. Reverse warrior. Lengthening through those fingertips. And inhale it up, windmilling that left arm up and over, placing that left hand along the inside of your right foot. Rotate your body and extend right arm to the sky. Back heel remaining on the floor. Best you can. Can you touch your belly button to your inner thigh? Can you reach any higher? As you exhale, slowly release that right hand down. One hand on either side of your foot. Back heel comes off the floor to a runner's lunge. Breathe, pressing through that back heel, lengthening and reaching through the crown of the head. Let's bring that back knee to the floor, top of the foot to the floor, left hand to the inside of your right foot, right arm extends out. Circle it around. Can you draw that back foot in? Can you find it? Take a hold of it if you can find it. If you can't quite find it, wrap your strap, wrap your belt around the ankle, and then slowly, slowly begin to pull your heel in towards your bottom. Maybe turn your gaze out over that right shoulder. Now the more you pull your heel in, the more you're going to feel this stretch. If it's really intense, guys, lift your hips a little bit or a lot. Or if you can't quite find that foot, just keep reaching. Breathe. Now turning this into a balancing pose if you like. We turn our gaze forward. You can stay right here. We shift our hand to the inside with the arch of our foot. Core is strong. We begin to rise, extending left arm out. You can stay right here. Or lift that left arm high, circle it around behind. Can you find your foot with both hands? Now roll those shoulders back and open that chest. Breathe. We release the foot, circling that left arm back up and over. Left hand to the floor. Release that right hand. Circle that right hand up and over, one hand on either side of your foot. We're going to begin to press those sit bones straight back. Extending that right leg, right sole of the foot stays connected to the floor. Now really focus on squaring those hips. So that left hip is going to try and sneak back a little bit. The more you square those hips, the more you're going to feel this. Now slowly begin to lift those right toes and sit back even further. Be mindful of the hips. Great stretch for the hamstring, for the calf. And inhale it back up. One hand on either side of your foot. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back. Extend right leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. And gently alternate bending knees. Walk it out. Head heavy, face soft, and just breathe. As you exhale, let both heels sink. Taking the gaze between your hands, walk, step, or hop to forward fold. Let your head be heavy, arms be heavy. Let's bring the hands to the elbows and hold on. Let's shift a little weight forward into the toes. And then weight back into the heels. Into the toes. And again back into the heels. We center our weight, relax the arms, and slowly roll it up, one vertebra at a time. Again, really just working to stack those vertebrae, realigning the spine. With a big shoulder roll as you reach the top. Shoulders slide down and away. Do that shoulder roll once again. Big shoulder roll. Let go of that tension and tightness, guys. And let's pull those hands to heart center. We find a focal point out in front of us. Core is strong, and we shift our weight now to our left foot. Right knee is going to lift to 90 degrees and flex your foot. So we're working to get that knee right in line with the hip and to create this nice little parallel line with our thigh and the floor. Now our hands can stay at heart center or extend those arms out to a T, and we begin to extend that right leg. Again, we are working to get that leg as high as we can get it and as long as we can get it. So if it's a little bit lower, guys, but we can press through that heel, awesome. And then slowly, 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 we begin to lift. Really firing up that quadricep, keeping those hips level, right in line. Bending that right knee. Now press that right foot straight back as you hinge forward into warrior three. So that right hip is going to want to lift. We want to work to keep those hips side by side in our warrior three. Our arms can extend out to a T. You can sweep the arms back to flight. Or again, for more intensity, extend those arms out in front. Arms on either side of the head, lengthening and reaching. Breathe. We bend that supporting leg and take a giant step back to warrior one. Squaring the hips, finding that breath, pressing through that back heel. Feel that length through the calf. Feel the strength in the belly and the legs. We bend that right elbow, hand comes behind your head. Left hand to the elbow and gently press. Still keeping those hips square. They have this tendency to have a mind of their own if we're not focusing and staying true to our warrior. Now again, you can stay right here. If you have tight shoulders and you know this, you can take a hold of that strap of that belt or that towel. Circling that left arm around behind you. Can you find your fingertips? So by keeping that left hand to the elbow rather than releasing it, we're just getting this nice tricep stretch. Shoulder mobility. Hips are square. Lengthen through the crown of the head and slowly begin to hinge forward. Nice long diagonal line down the back of your body. Now notice, has that right heel lifted? Can you feel that great stretch to your calf? Can you feel the strength in your belly? The strength in the legs? Now slowly rise. Release your hands, extend right arm, and then the left. Circle the arms to the back. Release your hands on either side of your foot. Lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend left leg to the sky. Go ahead and open up those hips. Head is heavy. As you exhale, sweep your left knee through. Foot to the inside. We come to pigeon pose on the left side. So be kind. How's the knee? Do you need to take care of it? Do you need to come over onto your hip and draw that back leg in? If so, do. Nobody's here to judge, guys. It's about finding what's right for you. If it's right for you, even if you're up high, it's fine. We're doing our best to let go of that tension in those hips. And believe me, that is one of the key places that you hold negative tension. Any kind of negativity neck, shoulders, lower back, and hips. So we're just doing our best to let it go. And let's slowly walk the hands forward into sleeping pigeon, either fully extending those arms or stacking the hands, and just relax the weight of the upper body down. Take a big breath in and squeeze every muscle in that lower body. And then exhale, let it go. Nice big deep breaths. Our job is to just let go of that tension wherever we find it, guys. And your breath is that key component in allowing that to happen. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. One hand on either side of the knee. Tuck the back toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend left leg to the sky. Point, flex your foot, roll your ankle, give your leg a little shake. And as you exhale, sweep that left foot back through. Back heel to the floor, windmill your arms up to warrior two. Hips, chest, and shoulders open to the side. Gaze out over your front middle finger. That left knee is rolled open, right in line with your hip. Shoulders, no tension. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little bit. And then exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Open hips, chest, and shoulders to the side. Reach it out over those left toes as far as you can reach. And then release that left arm down, right arm high. We work to open the chest, to stack the shoulders and stack the arms. Again, little to no weight on that left hand. Should be able to take it away and still stay where you are. Breathe. Find that breath. Lengthen out of the shoulder, up through the tips of your fingers. Now rotate that right palm towards the front of the room. Reach it up and over as you turn your gaze towards the floor. Reach out through those fingertips. Can you feel that amazing stretch all the way down that right side? With a little tuck of your chin towards your collarbone, just letting go of tension in the neck. We slowly lift that right arm to the sky. And let's rise. Firing up those obliques. Back arm onto the back leg, front palm to the sky, sweep it up and back. Reverse triangle. Right hand sliding down that back leg. Do your best not to allow it to be a stopping point, but a guide. Lengthen through those left fingertips. Breathe. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend that left knee. Sink low. Reverse warrior. And inhale it back up. Windmilling that right arm up and over. Placing that right hand to the inside of your foot. Adjust anytime you guys need to. Rotate your body. And extend left arm to the sky. So that back heel working to stay connected to the mat. Core staying strong. We lengthen out of the shoulder to the tips of the fingers. Breathe. As you exhale, slowly release that left hand down. One hand on either side of your foot. Back heel comes off the floor into a runner's lunge. Breathe. We bring that back knee to the floor. Top of the foot to the floor. Placing that right hand to the inside of your left foot. Left arm extends out. Circles around. And we're going to draw that back foot in. Take a hold of it if you can find it. And work to pull your heel in towards your bottom. Now again, too intense. Lift your hips. That's going to make it so it's not quite so long through those quadriceps and through the hip flexors. Feels good. Let those hips be heavy. Take your gaze out over that left shoulder. Be nice. Remember, it's the only body you get. You got to take care of it. So be kind to it. Now we can stay here just focusing on that quad stretch, hip flexor stretch, or turn this into a balancing pose at the same time. We turn our gaze forward. We shift that left hand to the inside or the arch of your foot. Core is strong. We're going to begin to rise. Extend right arm out. Now you can stay here with that right arm extended, or circle that right arm around behind you, opening through the chest, mobility through the shoulders. Can you find that right foot? Let the shoulders be heavy. Let that right foot kind of pull those hands back. Breathe. Settle it down. Releasing that right hand, circling it back up and over. Release that right hand to the mat.
Release the left hand, circle it up and over. Let that right foot come to the mat. Now keeping your left foot flat on the floor, begin to sit your sit bones straight back. So that right hip is going to try and pull back a little bit. I want you to work to square your hips. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Can you feel that nice stretch to the top of your foot at the same time? Now slowly, slowly, let those left toes lift as you reach your sit bones back. But be mindful you're not pulling that right hip back. We want to keep those hips square. And just let your head be heavy. Find your breath. We're working to quiet things down. They can be pretty noisy when we initially come into a pose, an intense pose for sure. So we just want to give our body a second or two, a breath or two, to realize we're not going to ask too much before it's ready to give. We inhale, coming forward once again, bending that left knee, tuck your back toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend left leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. And let's alternate bending knees, walk it out. Find your breath. As you exhale, let both heels sink. We inhale it to high plank. Toes or knees, challenge here, my friends, as slow as you can go. Elbows right by the ribs. We keep the length in the spine, out through the crown of the head. We keep that belly button drawn in. Wherever you are, stop. Breathe. If you can, smile. Do your best, don't let those hips drop, and continue down. Find that breath. Coming all the way down onto your tummy. Tops of the feet to the mat, hands right by your chest, nose and chin to the mat. And I just want you to relax. So getting those forearms to the mat as best you can. Core is strong. We're going to lift through the upper body to the point where we are not engaging those glutes, but we are lengthening through the crown of the head. We are gazing forward towards the top of our mat. Rather than lifting the head, I want you to just keep that natural curve of the spine. So work in the posterior part of our body, staying strong through the upper and middle back. Now you can stay right here or begin to press through the palms of the hands as you begin to extend those arms. Now you can stay lower or you can begin to lift. Now as you lift, yep, you're going to engage those glutes, and that is absolutely fine. So find that space where it's right for you, gazing forward, or if you like, lift your gaze towards the sky. Shoulders are drawn down and away. So listen to your body. Be kind to it. Find that breath. As you exhale, slowly releasing down. All the way down. Hands right by your chest, press it back to child's pose. Arms extended out nice and long. Sit bones back towards your heels. We inhale, lifting just slightly. Walk your hands to the left. Reach through your right fingertips and press your hips to the right. Relax the weight of your head. Inhale, lift just slightly. Walk your hands back through center. And now over to the right. Reach through your left fingertips. Press your hips to the left. And relax the weight of your head. Nice, big, deep breaths. Inhale, lift just slightly. Walk your hands back through the center. And relax the weight of the upper body down. Take as much time as you need. If you need a little extra, take it. And as you're ready, walk your hands up. Come over onto one hip. Sweep your feet around and slide on down to the top of your mat. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and we're going to pull the heels in just as tightly against you as feels right. And we're going to take a hold at the ankles, and we're going to lift through the crown of the head. Now we have this natural tendency to kind of hollow out through the tummy and chest rather than opening the chest. We really want to keep that chest open, guys. So activated, you can feel kind of the upper and middle back, and you can feel those shoulders drawn down and away. Now you can stay right here, just focusing on the posture and focusing through the hips and the groin. A deeper stretch, if you like, hinging from the hips rather than the waist. We're going to lengthen through the crown of the head. Now, if you're wondering, how do I know if I'm hinging from the hips or the waist? If you're hinging from the hips, you can keep that long spine. Shoulders are drawn back. You're not going to go quite as deep. We lengthen and reach all the way through the spine. If you are hinging from your waist, you have rounded over and you've created this hollowness through the chest. There's this closing of the chest and an opening and broadening of the back. We want to squeeze those shoulder blades, lengthen through the crown of the head, and open the chest. So just kind of taking note of how that feels to you. It's a deeper stretch. It's a different stretch. They are both wonderful stretches, as you will see in just a moment. We will do the other. Now lengthen through the crown of the head and slowly rise. Now allow your feet to come out in front of you just a little bit more, pulling away from you, and we're just going to round forward. Allowing the tummy and chest to just hollow open. Allowing the head to be heavy. So more range of motion here probably. Just a different stretch. Can you notice the difference? I hope so. Now starting at the crown of the head, slowly lengthen and reach through the crown of the head and rise. Hands just slide up the shins. Extending the legs out nice and long. Flex your feet, reach to the sky. Lengthen, hinge it forward, tummy down, chest down, hands, and then relax the weight of your head. Now we're going to lift the head just slightly, just gazing towards your shins. Lengthen the crown of the head towards your toes. Pull your toes back towards your shins, or towards the crown of the head. Breathe. Feel how that kind of flattens out your back a little bit. How it intensifies the stretch for your lower back and for those hamstrings. Inhale, reach it out. Sit up nice and tall. Soften your feet. Close your eyes and slowly, slowly begin to roll back. And relax. We draw that right knee in towards you. Extending that right leg to the sky. We reach up with that right hand, taking a hold of that right leg anywhere you like. Now the toes can be pointed, the foot can be soft, or for more intensity, flex your foot. We use the strength of that right arm to pull that right leg in towards you. And just notice, you don't need to bend the knee. We don't want to bend the knee. We want to keep that leg as long as we can to promote that length in the hamstring, to get that length in the calf. Breathe. So we're working to keep those hips side by side, to keep that pelvis in line. Now releasing intensity with the arm, take a hold along the outside of the leg, outside of your foot, or perhaps that right big toe, and we're going to let that right leg open out to the side. So we're doing our best to keep those hips level, right? That pelvis level. That left hip is going to want to lift a little bit. So as that pelvis wants to shift, we're going to draw that left hip back down. Feel how that engages those obliques on that left side. Really nice stretch to the inner thigh of that right leg. That right arm is just heavy. Not really doing any work. Now we're going to engage that right arm. Keeping the core strong, we're going to use the strength of that right arm and lift that right leg. So if that's not great for you guys, no worries. Just let that leg be heavy out to the side. Notice how that is a different stretch. Where does it feel different? Is it right? Slowly releasing that right arm. Now let that right arm be heavy. We're going to engage those adductor muscles as we slowly lift that right leg. Just let that arm be heavy. It's coming along for the ride. Just extra weight to make that right leg work a little bit harder. Now release that right hand, extend it out to a T, bend that right knee, left hand reaches across to the outside of the right knee and gently pull your leg across your body. Keeping those shoulders against the earth, keeping that chest open to the sky. Turn your gaze out over that right arm. And just close your eyes. I know I always tell you guys, that's my favorite pose. I have so many that I truly love, but this actually is my most favorite pose. So great for my back and for my hips. And it literally brings out negative energy for me. I don't typically have much, but if I do, this can help get rid of it. Love, love, love. Gently releasing that left hand, rolling it back to center. Extend right leg to the sky. Point your toes, lengthen that leg. Little external rotation through your hip. Reach out through the toes and slowly lower your leg down. So activating all the muscles in the legs, keeping that core strong, strengthening those hip flexors, lengthening the leg, and allow it to come to rest. And that left knee comes in, extending that left leg to the sky. So again, pointed toes, soft foot, or you can flex your foot. We reach up with that left hand, taking a hold anywhere along the leg you like, and we gently work that left leg towards us, only if your body is ready for it. If you need to bend that right knee, bringing the sole of the foot to the floor, that is absolutely fine. But again, we are working to level the pelvis, right? So if you're rocking one side or the other, that is going to promote misalignment. So we want to promote alignment, right? So we want to keep that body happy and healthy. Find your breath. Now release the intensity with that left arm. Take that hand anywhere along the outside of the leg, ankle, outside of your foot, or big toe. Right arm extends out to a T, and we're going to let that left leg open out to the side. And just allow that left arm to be heavy, so it's a little extra weight. Breathe. Gravity's taking a hold of the weight of the leg. We're working to keep that right hip from lifting. Can you feel that engagement in that right side through the obliques? Can you feel that great stretch through the inner thigh? Now, if you like, engaging that left arm, we pull that left leg up. So just notice what that does to the rest of the body. Is that right? Is that the right place for you to be today? Even if it was on the right side, maybe it's not on the left, or vice versa. Now release the intensity with that left arm. Let the left arm be heavy, and we're going to fire up those adductor muscles as we slowly lift that left leg back to the sky. Left arm is heavy, just extra load, extra weight, till we reach the sky. Releasing that left hand, bending that left knee. Left arm extends out to a T, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and gently pull your leg across your body. Keeping both shoulders on the floor, best you can. Keeping that chest open to the sky. Turn your gaze out over that left arm. So I want you to just notice if one side feels differently than the other. Anytime we come to poses, guys, yeah, our body is made differently on each side. We are not matching identical on each side. So, and we, like you're right-handed or left-handed, you have a propensity for one side versus the other. That is true for flexibility as well. For strength, obviously, just in your overall preference. So don't judge. Keep that sense of humor. And just do your best to let go of the negative stuff. Focusing on what's good. We are here. We are happy. We are healthy. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. But we're here on our mat doing our part to be and to remain those happy, healthy, whole. Slowly release that right hand. Slowly roll it back to center. Extending left leg to the sky. Point your toes. Lengthen that leg. Little rotation through your hip. And lengthen and lower. So that external rotation through our hip. Promoting flexibility in that ball and socket joint through the hip. That length of the leg. Promoting posture. Better gait. Strength. Hip health. Arms come down by your sides, or you're welcome to rest your hands on your tummy. We want to find a comfortable place. So maybe for you, that might not be your back. Maybe it's your side, your tummy, or a seated position. I want you to find a place that feels good to you, relaxing and safe. Rest your hands where it feels natural to you. Close your eyes, relax your jaw. And we give ourselves permission to stop, to breathe, and to just be. Our breath flows effortlessly. We take a moment to acknowledge any thoughts that may have entered our minds during our practice today. And we acknowledge those thoughts, knowing that if they are of importance, they will return. And then just gently let them drift away. We return, focusing on our breath, each inhale and each exhale, the length and the depth of each breath we take. A gift of life, adventure, love, and friendship with each and every breath. Now, as your awareness is drawn inward, focus on a color. Any color you like. What shade is this color? Is it soft? Is it muted? Is it bright? Slowly, within this color, we can see through it. The color remains. But on the other side of that light, there is a word. What is that word? Allow that word to come more into focus. The color remains, but the word becomes more clear, more focused. Notice that word. Stay connected to it. How does it make you feel? Feel the energy. Is it a quiet energy? Or is it strong and vibrant? Let that word be your intention for the day. Slowly, slowly, the color becomes more prominent. The word less visible. Until the color just remains. Stay connected to this color, to your breath. Relax and just breathe. Slowly, gently, we begin to reawaken the mind and the body. We breathe a little deeper. We start to move the hands and the feet, the fingers and the toes. We stretch our limbs, and as you're ready, gently draw your knees in towards your chest. Either rocking yourself up or rolling your knees to one side and using the strength of the arms to help you come up to a seated position that feels right to you. Sit up nice and tall, rest your hands comfortably. Close your eyes and take big, deep breaths. And as we bring our practice to a close, just sharing a few words that you can take with you or let float on by. Kind words, a friendly gesture, or a smile cost us nothing, but to the recipient, it may mean everything in the world. Let's gently open the eyes. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky. And exhale, pull the hands to heart center. May you have the best day you've had in a very long time. I hope you guys just stay healthy, happy, sane, kind, everything. And just positivity running rampant and negativity staying at bay. Until the next time, my friends, always a pleasure. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. Namaste.